Welcome back to yet another edition of your favorite show on the internet. So you're interested in the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. This week we'll be checking out the London-based synth-pop group Hot Chip. Since their formation in 2000, the band has released numerous albums, EPs, singles, and remixes, many of which have been acknowledged by such award shows like the Mercury Awards and the Grammys. Hot Chip's music mostly revolves around synth-pop and alt-dance, taking heavy influence from house, electronic, and even disco. Since their discography is expansive, I thought I would break down their catalog by talking about 2 albums and 3 individual tracks that I think you should be listening to if you want to get into Hot Chip. Let's get to work starting with the albums. The first Hot Chip record to check out is their 2006 sophomore release, The Warning. Easily their most accessible album, The Warning is packed to the brim with gorgeous and fun synth-pop hits. Starting with Boy From School, we are gifted this groovy, infectious beat that just begs to be danced to. The vocals are heavenly, sounding like if Tom York decided to take a pop approach to Kid A or Amnesiac. After one listen, you'll know what I'm talking about. Next up, Over and Over is the perfect example of how you can merge synth-pop and post-punk to create a dance masterpiece. The hodgepodge of sounds mixed with the thumping bass and clapping percussions, Over and Over is an unforgettable track that you're going to wish that you had heard earlier in life. Finally, you're going to need to listen to the title track, The Warning. The textures and mix are soft and welcoming, inviting you to come back again and again. The Warning is the type of song to completely zone out to and become at peace with your inner self. Overall, this record is a necessary listen for anybody trying to get into synth pop at all, but it is especially important if you're trying to get into Hot Chip. The next album to listen to from Hot Chip is their 2012 release, In Our Heads. The album jumps from party hits to slow dirges, all while working around the framework of dance punk and synth pop. The first song to check out is the album's opening track, Motion Sickness. Simply put, this is a fantastic synth pop tune, full of diverse and interchangeable instruments and textures. The low, deep horns complement the glitchy synth notes during the hook, all while being driven by a common drum beat and heavenly vocals. The next track, Look at Where We Are, takes the album in a completely different direction, opening up with sliding guitars and simplistic vocal patterns. As the song progresses, there are some more elements added into it, but overall it stays calm and reflective. Last but not least, you need to listen to Night and Day. Personally, this is my favorite Hot Chip song simply because of how insane and chaotic it is. The production is bubbly and excessive, bouncing around like a speeding bullet with this bitchin' bass synth and overwhelming vocals. If you want to dance, Night and Day is the song for you. In Our Heads is not the cohesive piece that The Warning is, but it's still worth checking out to see Hot Chip's varied approach to synth pop. Now it's time for the tracks. The first Hot Chip track that you need to hear is Ready for the Floor, which was released alongside their 2008 LP, Made in the Dark. The song is infectious from its very first note and carries on throughout the entirety of its runtime. Finding the perfect mix of post-punk and synth-pop, Ready for the Floor is a masterpiece in mashing as many sounds and concepts together as possible without it feeling bloated or overwhelming. This is absolutely a smash hit that is a must-hear for new Hot Chip listeners. Next up, Horatio Lights from their 2015 release Why Make Sense is a great low-key track from a group that is known for going above and beyond. The beat is groovy with strong bass synths and percussions that help the instrumental chug along. The progression of instruments is not as chaotic as many of their other songs, with each new instrument and segment being gently weaved in, helping to create the overall cohesion of the track. The vocal manipulations also sound great, filling the small holes left behind from the conventional beat. Go check Horatio Lights out. Finally, go check out I Feel Better from 2010's One Life Stand. This cut is as cinematic as Hot Chip gets, relying heavily on a processed orchestral instrumental that continues to grow and grow until it finally pops. And the pounding beat keeps your head moving in perfect unison with the song. I'll be honest though, the song does sound kind of dated, but I do find good things each time I've come back to this track that are definitely worth checking out, so be sure to give I Feel Better a chance. And that is all that I have this week for you on Hot Chip. Make sure to go listen to the songs and albums that I suggested, and also make sure to branch out on your own and listen to stuff that you think you might like. If you do like one of the recommended albums or songs, please leave it in the comment below. I'd love to hear your feedback on what you liked and what you didn't like. And that goes for albums and tracks that you might have heard on your own that I did not mention in this video. And while I am very ahead of my schedule right now for once in my life, actually having videos recorded and written, please be sure to leave some artists that you would like to see covered on this channel in this show. I always love seeing new recommendations on artists that I would have never thought on doing. I've done a couple of them in the past and it's worked out really well. So please let me in on what you want to see. And with that being said, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this every every single week, along with Forever Spinning, which is basically just a video history essay on classic albums. Also, you've probably seen at this point that I'm putting up more and more stacks of wax where I go through my record collection and just kind of show off what I have. And maybe some new videos here or there will be coming out shortly. I just kind of gotta write them, and you know, that takes work and effort, and I'm a tired man. So yeah, that is it. Go listen to more music, go wear a mask, do whatever the hell you want to do in this life, because it's short and fleeting and very, very sad sometimes. And with that, I will catch you next week.